Welcome once again to Whatever You Need. If you're joining us for the first time, remember to hit that subscribe button, tap join to give extra support, and show us your thoughts by liking and commenting below. Today's story revolves around a name that has been quietly present on the fringes of the entertainment world but suddenly found herself at the center of a storm, Gülüm Baktaş. What began as a terrifying traffic accident has now unfolded into a drama that blends recovery, reflection, and speculation over the future of her highly scrutinized relationship with Baris Baktaş. Only a few days ago, an ordinary day on one of Istanbul's busiest avenues took a dramatic turn. Gülüm Baktaş, a figure known more for her discretion than for flamboyant appearances, became the unwilling protagonist of a frightening traffic accident. Emergency services responded swiftly, transferring her to a private hospital where medical professionals confirmed that her injuries were not life-threatening. Yet while her physical recovery seemed assured, the emotional and psychological consequences would soon capture public attention. In the sterile light of the hospital, a decision was made that surprised even those closest to her. Reports indicate that Gülüm, despite her long-standing relationship with Baris, requested not to receive any visits from him. The phrase she allegedly shared with confidants was both simple and profound: "Right now, I need calm and space to recover." That sentiment, once leaked to the media, spread like wildfire. Commentators, fans, and columnists alike began dissecting the significance of her choice. Was it a temporary measure born of trauma, or was it the symbolic end of a turbulent relationship? Let's pause here for a moment. If you're following along and appreciate the depth of this coverage, don't forget, Whatever You Need thrives on your support. Subscribing and joining not only keeps you informed, but helps us bring these carefully developed stories directly to you. So go ahead, click subscribe, tap join, and let us know in the comments. Do you think Gülüm's decision was purely about healing, or is it the quiet sign of a permanent break with Baris? Back to the heart of the matter. Gülüm and Baris's relationship was never one painted in static tones. Their bond, celebrated at times in glossy magazine spreads and whispered about in countless gossip programs, carried within it the friction of disagreements and the rumors of separations that were never fully clarified. The accident, shocking and visceral, appears to have acted as a catalyst. Facing her own vulnerability, Gülüm chose to set boundaries, not as an act of vengeance, but as a demonstration of self-preservation. Friends insist that her request was not a rejection of Baris as a person, but a declaration of her need for peace in a moment of fragility. The public, as expected, was quick to react. Social media erupted under hashtags like #FewerZagulum, #TiempoParasanar, and #BarisBaktaş, creating digital arenas where support, criticism, and speculation clashed. Admirers praised her for prioritizing her own mental and emotional health, interpreting her decision as an empowering act of reclaiming her autonomy. Others worried about the implications for Baris, asking whether silence and distance might erode a bond already weakened by months of quiet strain. Online debates, fueled by countless posts and viral threads, turned her personal choice into a national conversation. Meanwhile, television talk shows and gossip columns seized the opportunity to revisit the couple's history. Segments were dedicated to retracing their romance, from glittering public appearances to whispered quarrels behind the scenes, constructing narratives that oscillated between sympathy and intrigue. For an audience accustomed to viewing celebrity relationships as serialized dramas, the hospital episode felt like a cliffhanger, leaving viewers eager to know the next act. And what of Baris? His response was as subdued as it was revealing. According to insiders, he had been prepared to rush to the hospital, a visible show of support. Yet upon learning of Gülüm's wishes, he refrained. Instead, he opted for gestures of distance and delicacy, a bouquet of white flowers delivered to her room, accompanied by a simple private message, "I am here whenever you want to talk." That restraint has been interpreted in divergent ways. For some, it represents respect and maturity, a willingness to honor Gülüm's boundaries. For others, it hints at the deepening of a rift that may now be irreversible. Public relations analysts, weighing in on television debates, noted that Baris's silence stands in stark contrast to the flamboyant reactions often expected in such situations. It's a gesture of maturity. Instead of inflaming controversy with words, he extinguishes it, remarked one commentator. Social media, too, reflected this shift. Hashtags like #MutualRespect and #Baris Maduro began trending, with users praising his decision to remain silent rather than dramatize an already delicate situation. For once, restraint became newsworthy, and silence itself spoke volumes. If you're enjoying this deep dive into the complexity behind the headlines, make sure to support whatever you need. Subscribing, liking, and especially joining our channel allows us to dedicate time and resources to presenting these nuanced stories. And tell us below, how do you interpret Baris's silence? Do you see it as strength, respect, or a quiet surrender? Beyond the swirling speculation, what emerges most clearly is the fragile humanity of both figures. For Gülüm, this accident and its aftermath symbolize a moment of reckoning. An opportunity to evaluate who she wishes to surround herself with during vulnerable times. Her actions underline the fact that fame does not shield anyone from the raw realities of fear, pain, and the instinct to protect one's inner space. For Baris, accustomed to attention and headlines, the challenge lies in learning patience, restraint, and the uncomfortable position of waiting without clarity. This juxtaposition, Gülüm asserting her solitude, Baris exercising patience, strips away the glamorous facade of celebrity life, reminding us that behind every public image lies private uncertainty. Red carpets, press flashes, and curated Instagram posts conceal, but do not erase, the emotional storms that define any relationship under pressure. As we draw closer to the conclusion, let us reflect together. Will this be merely a temporary pause, a period of healing that culminates in reunion? Or is it the silent prelude to a permanent separation? The tabloids will continue to speculate, but ultimately the answer lies not in headlines or hashtags, but in the private decisions of two people navigating love under the harsh spotlight of fame. So, what do you think? Share your perspective with us in the comments. And before you go, don't forget, subscribe to whatever you need, hit that join button if you want to give our channel extra support, and help us by liking this video. Your interaction ensures we can keep producing these in-depth, human-centered stories. To conclude, the story of Gülüm Baktaş's accident is more than just an incident on a busy Istanbul street. It is a narrative about boundaries, respect, silence, and the right to choose peace over spectacle. It demonstrates that even in the relentless glare of celebrity culture, individuals can reclaim control over their lives, even if only for a fragile moment. And in that act of self-care, perhaps both Gülüm and Baris have revealed more about themselves than any public appearance ever could. Thank you for watching and reading with us here on Whatever You Need. Stay tuned for our next story, where we'll continue to bring you the hidden truths and human moments behind the headlines. Until then, take care, stay curious, and don't forget to support the channel. We'll see you soon.